If you're ready, we will begin.
Welcome to the Marla and Dave radio show. This is reality radio with a couple that keeps it real. Current events, pop culture, music, relationships, fitness, the hot topics of the day. Marla and Dave Thomas. This is the Marla and Dave radio show. Real radio.
Welcome to the Marla and Dave show.
Wow.
I win. I'm the winner.
I just got through saying I have my secret weapon. I was keeping my eye on Tony and the faders.
But you know what
and
happened?
As soon as they went up, she stole my weapon.
Here's the problem.
How are you going to fight when you don't have any weapons?
Welcome to the Marla and Dave show. I am Marla, always, every day, for 46 years, soon to be 47, 365 days a year. And he's Dave.
And that leaves me as Dave pulling up the rear, as usual. Anyway,
wow.
So much for being a gentleman.
Dave, you know what? The thing about it is that just shows you that men and multitasking, it just doesn't happen. Because the minute you heard his voice, and I think because we have our friends here and you're here with Alvin and the whole music thing.
I come against that completely.
Okay.
I think men actually multitask very well.
Yeah, one task at a time. It says singular. Anyway, speaking of music, let's...
I'm going to try to represent. How's that?
I have to do a little precursor today. For those of you who follow on social media, which is quite a few, we are going through. Can't always talk about everything that we're going through, but the prayers are appreciated. They're needed.
Absolutely.
And this song is not really representing the topic of today, but it is my mood song and it's very significant. Hit me, Tony.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, far away. I am titanium. You shoot me down, but I'm on fire. I am titanium.
That's pretty good, Marla.
I have to, sometimes you have to do things externally that remind you, and along with the fact that I know that this is without a doubt a God issue, just with helping our family come through a tough time, I just can't fold. I won't. I'm not doing it. So bulletproof is my deal.
Tony hit me.
He has raised me to God.
Hey.
Be the glory.
Absolutely.
For the things He has done.
For many reasons, that's my mood song. To pay tribute to a great icon that has passed on, number one. Number two, the sentiment of that song is important to me. In times of stress, get thankful.
There you go.
So, there you go.
Speaking of giving thanks, we like to give our week in review. Our beautiful, wonderful, smart, intelligent, and smart-mouthed grandson turned 5.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
so, go ahead.
It was awesome. He had a great time. He was shooting it up at laser tag, so we had a good time.
I didn't actually do the laser tag. Was he on the winning team? Can you tell me?
I think he did win.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
sure
the
that
green team won, so and he was just... For him, he won anyway because he was having a good time.
Right. So we had Cameron's birthday this weekend, Saturday. So that was awesome.
But you know what? I want to recognize that we had a couple of callers at the beginning of the show. We weren't ready to actually answer the call, but please call back.
Callers, let us get ready for you. Our door's open now. We want you to call us back.
323-284-7826. Call again.
And
we want to hear from you.
Our show today is exciting for us for a lot of reasons. Number one, Adria and Alvin are our friends. And so it's always fun to have your friends join you at work. But this doesn't even really feel like work. We love what we do. But today, more importantly, I spoke with Alvin and Adria not too long ago. And I feel that they have a lot to share. And we were talking about new beginnings and marriage the second time around. Is it actually better the second time around? And I'm going to let them talk about their experience, their marriage, and give us some advice and just tell their story. So just hang tough. When we come back, we're going to be on with Alvin and Adria Chea.
You're listening to the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network. Current events, pop culture, the hot topics of the day. It's time for Mad News on the Marla and Dave radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
So as Dave mentioned earlier, I guess they may know a little bit more about the details of Andre Crouch passing, but Andre Crouch who is an icon in gospel music.
Absolutely.
We-
Matter of fact, he's one of the few people that have transcended all musical genres. Period. Andre Crouch is an icon in music. Period.
So I'll let you
And,
guys, because I know as musicians, to the level that you guys have done what you do musically, you've encountered pretty much everybody. Talk to us a little bit about Andre's legacy.
It's funny what Dave just said, because last time we saw Andre, we were at an event. All kind of different people were there, and they were talking about, Mr. Crouch, how come you won't to craft your work so that you can cross over? And he said, unless it has the crawls, I don't want to cross over.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was who he was. He was just.
Can you do the voice
genuine.
one more time though, for
Unless
real?
it has the crawls, I don't want to cross over.
That's awesome.
I mean, he has written songs that have actually become so standard that they're actually in the hymnal.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
once that happens, it's just another whole level, and he's going to be missed, truly missed. As a matter of fact, here's something that's funny. His sister actually tried to get me to understand how we were related some kind of way.
She told that story to me.
Yeah.
She was breaking it down.
And she has the
Some kind of way you
family
guys are
tree.
cousins, yeah.
It's got to involve veggie meat somewhere. I'm sure about it. I'm sure it started
And
Oakwood.
so I'm just
over a
honored
can
to
of
be in the
chocolates.
family. I'm just honored to be in the
I
family.
like how
So
Dave's cutting that off. real quick.
yeah,
Well, so
yeah. You noticed that.
All right.
Anyway, we love Andre Crouch. We're praying for the family.
More with Adria and Alvin in a minute.
This ain't your mama's radio show. Can you handle the truth? Then get ready for a real radio experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
All right, so we, as Marla mentioned, are here with the Cheas, Alvin and Adria Chea. Hello. Welcome.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Marla and Dave show.
I have a question that, first of all, we have a couple of calls that we weren't able to answer right at the start of the show. But the question I would like to ask all of you guys to call in, and feel free to call anytime during the interview or to weigh in, but are second marriages better than the first? That's the question I want you to weigh in. Let us know what you think. 323-284-7826. There's the question. Answer. Is it
Well,
what is better?
I don't even think you can
or-
say no.
no, not being in the same room at the same time. No.
Can you say no to that? No, I'm
I'll
not
put it
sure
this
that this
way.
one is as good as the first. No.
If everything was great, you wouldn't get the shot at the second one.
Now, that's just some truth for you right there.
Exactly.
So
Well, before we even get there, and Adria, I'm gonna ask you to just bring your mic up because I know your husband has a big old booming
Yes.
voice
Everything.
thing going on there. So
I'm in competition with this voice.
don't compete. No, yeah, but
I
we
will
can.
lose.
Hey, you know what though? We can compete in the mall.
That's right.
Let's go shopping. That'll work.
We should.
But anyway, I want to get your stories. And when I say I want to get your stories, I really want to get your love story as Adrian Alvin, one at a time. I'm going to ask Vin. I know I've heard a little bit about you stalking her in an autograph line at your church, at her church in Texas.
right.
But
Oh, there goes the story. Yeah, there you go.
well, it's not really my story, but I can give him the cue, the lead in.
And take it
So
away.
exactly, I really want to know that, answer this question: of all the women in the
Oh
world,
Lord, that's a dangerous question.
Why?
You about to set up.
No.
You
All
about
the
to get
women
me
in
in
the
trouble.
world.
no, because we've been friends since we were
30
small.
years this year. 30 years.
See what I'm saying?
30 years.
And what
Marla.
I'm saying is, I know that you let's not mess around.
Yeah.
That when you were a single man, you had your choice.
True.
Pretty much.
True.
So what I'm saying is, Adria stood out.
Absolutely.
Why?
Well,
Why is she the one?
She, man, it's such a wonderful, amazing.
Let's gush.
Do
Let's
we have
all
bubbles?
gush.
Tony, can we do
Yeah.
bubbles and
Bloop, bloop,
dubs in
bloop.
here? Is it too small?
I met Adria
And that's why-
in Dallas in about, I guess it was about 9 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's nice.
Nice.
And we were signing autographs. All these people at this mega church were filing by. And I looked up and I saw this amazing, beautiful woman. And I said, wow, that's a beautiful black woman. And I sat there and I'm supposed to be signing autographs, but I'm just following her out the door. Okay, we had to do two services upstairs. 4 hours later, instant replay. Same table, same setup. People are filing out, and I'm signing autographs. People are, autographs, yes, yeah, here. I look up, and I see.
Sorry, fans. He didn't mean that. He was
did
stricken
love
by love.
I look up, and I see Adria coming back in the door. And I was like, there's that girl.
Okay, stop. I've heard that. Stop that. Pause right there.
Yes.
No, Marla, I think you're going to say what I'm going to say. Because Adria, that means she came to the second service.
That's not what I was going to say.
Oh,
I was going to say, was there,
But I like where you're going.
but did Adria take, let's be honest, special note? Were you prancing, Miss Thing?
Back and
Or
forth,
did you-
back and forth, back and forth.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
I thought she was going to stop before the night. Absolutely.
Wait, so you were, I know you were enjoying your services because I know you were very into your church, but at that moment, I know, of course, Alvin caught your attention at some point. You're here and in love and you've got a great family. Then.
Well, at that point, it's a back-end story. That was the second service that I saw you.
Right.
It's the evening service. And I had a really bad migraine that day, and I almost did not come back to church, period.
Wow.
So my godmother encouraged me to come. She's like, Adria, you're going to miss it. You know, it's going to be great. You know, take 6. And it was take 6, and I think some other people there are coming. I was like, oh, okay. So I was not looking my best at all. I mean, I literally just kind of rode out like, okay, I'm going to come.
So this beautiful woman that he saw was just,
He
that
saw-
was
he
just,
saw-
This whole thing.
I wake up this way.
That's all that.
Pretty much.
That's all
But
that.
I had a migraine. So I came back and I ran into a mutual friend. She was there at the church. She's not a member of the church. And I came out the door and I literally bumped into her. And she happened to be there with Alvin. And she made the introduction. And that's how we met.
And I've been knowing that girl for 20-something years. And, just kind of was a friend that just kept in contact with.
Right.
But the second I saw Adria talking to her, I was like, you know her. Introduce me, hook your boy up.
So Adria, answer this question for me. Were you just early for the service? That's why you were at the first autograph signing?
No, it was actually, I was
She
on
passed
time.
by the
Okay.
table. She didn't say she stopped and got an autograph.
But no, I'm not saying that. But she was there. That's when Alvin first laid eyes on you.
Right. The show was over with, and so we start talking. The friend and we start communicating. And she's like, I was like, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I'm here with my friend that sings with Take 6. Oh, okay. She's got to introduce you. Okay, we're just talking.
Yeah.
Girl talk.
Yeah.
And that's
then it turned
how
into
happened.
boy talk, and then it turned
Yeah.
into will you marry me?
Yeah.
I get it.
And then we had a little
ING.
How does that happen? Huh?
So both you and Adria were in marriages previously
Yes.
that did not work out, obviously.
So actually, let me jump down
Okay.
and continue
Go
answering your
ahead.
question. So you said second time around.
Right.
So that night, I convinced the lady who was our mutual friend to convince Adria to come to the hotel so we can all talk. All right, so we're sitting there, Adria, me, the girl, the chaperone. We're talking. In the middle of her talking, I quickly realized that she was not in the place for anything else.
She was still dealing with loose ends.
She was dealing with loose ends. And I definitely was dealing with loose ends. But I said to myself, at least I know there are people out here like this that can make my heart beat.
Right.
Because I was actually involved with somebody
Right.
that I was not, 3 years, and I just couldn't get there.
Us too with that one.
Yeah. And
Okay.
behave, Marla.
Okay.
so
We don't
anyway,
know who that is.
Okay.
shall we?
There are no names.
How wide does this thing broadcast?
We don't know. It could be.
Anybody, yes.
Anybody.
So yeah, I realized that that's what was going on, and so I said, well, let me step back, but I know now. Don't settle.
Can I ask? Can
Absolutely.
I just take your hand for 1 second?
Yes.
We're happy to be married to you too. Okay.
Me too. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
And then let me remind the
Superfluously.
callers that if you call in now, we're ready to talk to you. So 323-284-7826.
Talk straight to Alvin and Adria.
Absolutely.
At that same exact number. So that
Now,
would be awesome.
Sandra in the chat room, she says that when she got married, the first time she was just simply too young.
Yeah.
Just simply too young.
Well, we brought up the Take 6 thing. I know that I'm going to talk for people out there, and I can't be a person who ever like flies into this conversation, because Dave and I have been together since they're babies. How much did Alvin being in Take Six work for him or against him? Was that ever anything that you considered?
Good question.
Well,
Great
it's
question.
funny that we said that because I've heard of Take Six.
Oh,
but didn't,
okay.
Didn't
We did have a little ego left,
Look
but
at-
thank you
I
very
didn't-
much.
Sorry. So
I
it
had
wasn't-
heard of Take
I had
Six,
heard
but
of them, but it wasn't like I followed their
is
music.
that the three guys
So-
related to Babyface?
Yeah. So I even told. I mean, Alvin knows this. So I
Right.
was just like, oh, okay. I mean,
Right.
you know,
That didn't have the impact.
It
It
did
was
not
the
have
who
the
of Alvin,
impact.
who he was.
what did it for me is once I got to know the story, the friend told me a lot about Alvin. She's like, he's a wonderful guy. He's wonderful. And I'm like, he's in the entertainment industry.
Uh-oh.
My whole thing, I was like, you know what? He probably is a dog. He cheats. He does everything underneath the moon. He travels. We would never make it. We would never be together.
Wow. Well, obviously,
Well, I'm glad
God
that
had
Alvin
another
broke
plan.
that mold.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. When we come back, the question I want you to ponder over this break is, coming out of past marriages with others, what was the one thing that you learned most about yourself through that situation that you had to take and absorb so you could actually be available to do it better the second time around?
Right.
Hold that thought. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, listen up. Learn something. 26 years of marriage from two unique perspectives equals 52 years of relationship experience. It's time for Ask Marla and Dave. Answers to your questions about life, love, and relationship based on Marla and Dave's real life experience. It's about to get real. Ask Marla and Dave.
We're going to
All
ask
right.
Marla and Dave and Alvin and Adria this
Absolutely. The question is, I have been married for a little over 10 years. I've always taken the lead sexually in my relationship. My husband reaps all of the benefits. Yes, that's a good thing. Of my sexually adventurous spirit. I thought that over time he would reciprocate and at least be willing to have oral sex with me. But he refuses. Is there anything that you think I can do to encourage him to get outside his box and get in my box? No, just joking.
As it were.
Signed, Tired of Giving.
Giving. Yeah.
How can I put this
Blow
in such a nice way? How can you encourage him to go there? There's a feminine product aisle in the store.
Okay, Dave. Okay, I'm stopping Dave right now. Listen.
As well as a place called
listen,
Pink Cheeks.
You know what?
Put those two things together.
You don't need to be waxed, and I'm sure you're clean. Let's just get that out of the way, whoever you are. I want to say this. I want to say that it's hard sometimes for people to get outside of their comfort zone, but I think that, you've already stated what it is, and then you need to have an open conversation about what it is that is stopping him from wanting to have new experiences. And sometimes people are who they are. And I would probably want to say that he was probably very rigid when you got together, but you don't want to push somebody out of their box.
And for the record, I was just joking. What she said.
And what do you guys think?
I think that actually the bedroom is a place where there are a lot of power plays that happen. Some people like being the pursued. Some people like pursuing. And it is kind of, it almost has a little bit of, it's kind of the
Cat and
equivalent.
mouse.
Yeah, it's kind of the equivalent of the financial thing. You don't have to make the most money, but the implication is if you make the most money, you say what's
Well,
What
they're
Alvin
all
said-
there are all kind of reasons, but that's Ask Marla and Dave.
Sit on her face. Sit on his face. There you
Keep
go.
asking us, we'll keep
Welcome
telling.
back to the Marla and Dave radio show. Marla and Dave want to talk to you. Phone lines are open at 323-284-7826. 323-284-7826.
Okay, we cut that one pretty close. But as you see, we have a lot to talk about as far as that subject is concerned. Again, the call-in number 323-284-7826. And callers, like we said earlier in the show, please call back. We definitely want to speak with you. We're sorry that we couldn't pick up before, but we can now.
And here I have a question that I want to ask our audience that you can definitely weigh in. How soon, we're talking to Alvin and Adria about marriage the second time around, what is a good time frame, in your opinion, that someone should refrain from dating following a divorce? Call us. Let us know what your thoughts are. In the meantime, Alvin and Adria have got work to do here on the Marla and Dave show. And the question that I asked you before we went out to the break is, I want to start with Adria. What did you learn most about yourself as a result of your failed first marriage?
Well, I learned a lot first, and definitely my main focus is definitely keeping God first, praying no matter what. And also, not necessarily when you're looking for a spouse, if you are looking for someone, you got to have the same type of belief system, respect level. Respect is huge, and communication. Those three things are very imperative. I mean, it's very important, even in any relationship, but especially in a marriage.
Got it.
And just learning the importance of that. Respect is got to have it.
Alvin, what did you learn about yourself?
I think you definitely have to be equally yoked. But what I learned about myself is that there's generally the one thing that you can't tolerate. Mm-hmm. You know, you can in marriage you can put up with a whole bunch of things. Mm-hmm. You learn, you love the person, right. You want it to work. Nobody wants to have a failed marriage,
right.
But there's that one thing that you just
What's your game breaker?
Respect. Can't disrespect me, especially as a man. That's big for a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
And women have their their thing, but that was my way. So coming in, I don't care. Generally, whatever bag you're coming from, that's one thing that I'm not going to reestablish in this new marriage. You're
right.
not going to disrespect me, you know.
Right.
So that's what, and my wife has her thing or her things. You know, be 10 things that she can
kind of manage.
Yeah, I wish you would pick up your socks and all that, but you're not going to do that.
What's your game breaker, Adria? Do you know it off the top of your head? The one thing that is just a ixnay, no way, hell no.
That's not going to happen?
Yes.
Oh, infidelity.
Okay. Not
just not going to happen.
Right.
We're not even talking about it.
Not even going to talk about it. Done.
Okay. So can I just look
I
at the
guess
audience and say this? Look how clear that, I will say, has got to be. I don't know if it's a combination of second marriages or just maturity, but knowing these things about yourself.
Absolutely.
Because what you said, I've asked, and a lot of women and men talk to me openly about a lot of things, and I used to say, "What's your game breaker?" And what I really started to find out for a lot of women, it wasn't necessarily cheating.
Right.
It was the dishonesty.
Right.
Like, in other words, there's a difference. Well, when I say that, what I'm saying is you might even be able to work through a problem.
Right.
Yours is clearly infidelity, but for a lot of people,
right.
it's not being able to say the truth about a situation and lying and, doing all this stuff.
But infidelity or just that's true. That deals with, it's built on a lie.
Right.
That's the trust. You can deal with a lot of different things, in marriage. No marriage is perfect.
Right.
You're going to have your things. It's days I'm looking at him like, whew, And I'm sure it's days he's looking at me like, whew.
At least they're keeping it real. That's
honey,
what we do here on the Marla and Dave show.
I never look at you that way, but go ahead.
But at the end of the day, marriage is compromise. You are coming in as two totally different people.
Right.
Come
Two flawed people.
Yes, to make it work. And the one thing, you go through your financial, you go through whatever, and the one thing is respect. And when you feel that you've lost that respect or that trust, that's even in a friendship. If you have a friend and
that breaks
that trust, or
that's
someone
true.
that you go to, that's your confidant, that you talk to, that you're praying ththrough something, and that trust is broken, it's hard to build a relationship. There are people that have been in infidelity relationships, and hey, it's worked for them to build back, and it's okay. And then some, it's a deal breaker for others. Could I stay in that situation and say, oh, you know what, let's work it out? The thought was there. It was there. Hey, do we throw away this marriage, or can we work on it?
Right.
But I couldn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was hard for me to build that trust back. Do I want to live in a house where I'm constantly
worried,
looking over my shoulder or worried, or whatever? And also it comes to protecting yourself, diseases, all of that stuff goes in play when you're dealing with that.
A lot comes
There
with
is
it.
a question in the chat room for you, Alvin. How do your kids from the first marriage treat your new wife, Adria?
That's part of the blended magic
Mm-hmm.
of prayer. It's really tricky. There's one of the other guys in our group just went through the same kind of thing, and like moments later, it seemed to me, the child was calling the new wife mom.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to get there.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, but it's just so many different moving parts, and is everybody in this room you love, and
Right.
you want it to work, but you got to respect their speed and difference of backgrounds and different agendas, that you may know about. But praise God, we've been a blended family for 8 years now. And the kids love Adria. Adria loves them. And we pull together, and everybody's in love with Caden, the one kid that unites us all.
The Unitor.
Yeah. And
The equalizer.
It's a good thing. It's a really, really good thing. Yeah.
Well,
That's awesome.
okay. Well, for us as well, Vin, you talked about something before that I want to bring up, and it was the interesting fact of how someone reads on paper versus the God design. Mm-hmm. So we're going to kind of flow from that into, that being the segue into where faith and marriage actually
Intersect.
they unite. Mm-hmm. So you were saying that, as a divorcee with 3 kids, really, and you on
My
paper,
personal resume.
Yeah.
I don't look good. I don't describe well. I don't sound good to the friend.
No, you sound good. You sound good. That we'll stop there.
That's about it. Yeah. Let me tell you about this guy I met. Okay, let me tell you. Well, he's a musician, so he travels a lot. He's been divorced. He has 3 children. He lives in Hollywood, and and he's approaching 40. So I don't sound that good on paper. But all of us, when you put up your credentials against anybody, you're not batting 1,000. So, but that's prayer and that's grace, and we got a chance to meet each other. And just like Adria said, the girl who knew us for 20 years, she said, "This guy, you got to meet this guy. There's something about him."
And that's key too. And I want people to know, because when I first heard that he had 3 kids and divorced, I wasn't doing no happy dance. I was like,
Are you sure, Lord?
I did.
Can I get that one more time?
And to tell you, because a lot of times we have our things where we're not going to do. I was like, I don't date any men with kids. I had this whole list of things that I said I didn't want to do.
Adria, the list.
No, the list. But God revealed so much to me during that time, because He's like, Adria, you're divorced. What if
you happen to have had a baby?
Wow, that failed marriage, and then here you are. So I had to really look at myself and not take what I see and say, no, and look at me now.
Right.
It's just such a blessing. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we still want to know how long you think you should wait after divorce to start dating again. We want to know from the Cheas, as well as those of you listening. Call in 323-284-7826.
We'll be right back.
It's time for the Marla and Dave Doghouse. Marla has something that should put Dave in the doghouse. Dave has something that should put Marla in the doghouse. You decide who gets a biscuit and who gets busted and ends up in the doghouse.
You go
Okay,
first.
this is another one of those times where I think I'm going to just
David, you're
throw
getting
the biscuit over to
No,
Marla,
Dave.
and
No,
I'm
Dave,
actually going to go and take a little break in the doghouse myself.
Let me tell you something, Dave. Let me
I'm
tell you what you're
tired.
doing. Let me
I'm
tell you
tired
what
of
you're doing
fighting.
right now. This is reverse psychology, and I don't like it.
I'm tired of being
I see
mad.
what you're doing.
I'm too tired to actually fight. I'm just going to go in the doghouse and chill.
Do you see what this is, Dave? You might not be able to read it from over there, but it's a get out of the doghouse pass, so I can put you back in there the right way. Stop running into the doghouse. What dog runs into the
Well,
doghouse?
then tell me why I should be in the doghouse. You better hurry up. Time's running out.
Okay. Here's why I want to submit Dave for the doghouse. Because
Now here's another thing. Here's a funny thing.
Well, let me
Today,
tell you why. I was
hurry
actually
up.
going to put you in the doghouse because you keep putting yourself in the doghouse, and then you did it again. So it's kind of making me mad that you keep putting yourself in the doghouse.
And get this. Today, Sandra said she would not put me in the doghouse.
Adria, is there
Thanks to Vin.
any offense that we can all vote? And Alvin and Adria, is there something reasonable why you think that Adria should be in the doghouse, and something reasonable? For example, Dave.
30 seconds. Got 30 seconds.
Well,
Dave,
that first caller was talking about some stuff that would put her in the doghouse. So. 10 years?
So, son-
10 years? Oh, you going to the doghouse? Oh, yeah.
And so you know what to do, girl.
Yes.
Anyway, so I'll go ahead and give Marla the biscuit today, and I'll go in the doghouse, and we'll try again next week.
Okay.
How's that?
I'm going to drag Dave out the doghouse. Come back for that. It'll be very interesting. We'll be right back.
What's the action?
You'll laugh. You'll learn. You'll love. You'll get mad. Shut up. You'll get happy. But you won't be bored. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the
All right.
Universal Broadcast Network.
Right off the top,
I'm hot.
how long should you wait to date after going through a divorce? In your opinion.
Boy. At least a year. At least a year.
So you mean shut it all the way down for a
Shut
year?
it all
Like,
the
don't
way
even
down.
consider,
Yeah.
like,
You
even
don't
if you,
even
even
know
if
who
that's
you are for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
really.
You got.
Yes.
You have to allow yourself to
Yeah.
heal whatever, and depending on what type of breakup it was,
True.
takes people longer
Yeah.
on how
Even
you
longer
know,
than that.
whatever it is.
Because there's certain times, I remember this happened to me. I was dating some girl and something came up and I went into a whole argument that was not even with this girl.
You were still dealing with
talking
stuff from the
about some-
past.
yeah.
You had a
And it's
fight
not
left
fair.
over.
Yeah.
Remnant fight.
Yeah,
finish.
exactly. It's not fair to them, you know.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with stuff you don't know who you are, and there's all kind. At least a year.
Did you
in my
guys?
opinion.
Did you guys ever? Was there ever a point where you actually, coming out of your first marriage, said, "Just F it"? And you can call it Frank. Forget it. Could be anything.
Frank this.
That you were hopeless. Was there in marriage? Like, was there a point where you just hated the idea that marriage could even ever be a possibility for either one of you going forward?
For whatever reason, I didn't have that. I didn't have that bitterness towards marriage. Where I was like, oh, I just would never get married again. I just hate marriage. I hate men. I wasn't on a man bashing type of thing. I just, I was like, you know what? I got to focus on me.
Right.
He wasn't the one. And for me, I had to make sure whatever I saw in him, I'm going to make sure I don't pick that again.
Right.
Now, it's interesting that you both said wait at least a year. Is that hindsight wisdom? Is that what you did? Or do you know that now that you made the mistake and jumped right in there?
No, I waited.
I think I waited
a
at
while.
least a year. I definitely 6 months, because I remember at one point saying to myself, "It's been 6 months since I've been with anybody."
It's been over a year. It was over a year for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I just, it's great to have that's when you have your friends, your family, your prayer circle, my girlfriends. I was busy, it was a lot going on, babies being born and a lot of stuff like that. So I was able to really decompress,
Do you think it matters if the cause of the demise of the first relationship was your fault or your significant other's fault? You know what I'm saying? If you're the hurt party,
You know what's funny?
do you wait longer than if you're the offending party?
I don't think I've ever met anybody who thinks it was their fault.
Wow.
You
Oh,
know, there
really?
been yes. I mean, I'll put it this way: I don't run with people who think it's their fault.
Right.
There might be some people who are, the offending parties, but that's not the circle that I sit in. That's not the kind of people that I run with.
Right.
So yeah, I for me, it definitely, looking back, at least I should have waited at least a year and probably a year and a half if I had to do it over again.
So and I think that what happens is that one of the main objectives, even for talking about this particular topic with the two of you, is there's so much despair in relationships,
Right.
and it's really about presenting a hopeful situation for I think that even in our best intentions spiritually as Christians, I think we choose a lot of the times, and God hasn't really necessarily chosen for us. I mean, I'm not saying that to bash a past spouse.
Right.
I'm
Right.
just saying that in our design, and
Right.
and I think that especially when you're young, you choose out of weakness in a lot of cases. And like I even feel like that Dave and I are like a spiritual matched miracle because we were way too young to know.
Way too young.
We had no idea. So the bottom line is the fact that we've been able to meld and grow and forgive and go on and do whatever
Right.
is unique.
Very.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. I'm not. So in other words, I wouldn't advise it.
Right.
Right.
So when I say being hopeful, it's interesting because even being Adria, you and I, wives of men that
Right.
other people
Right.
look at,
Yeah.
which is why I said
Okay,
you
Marla,
They
can I
did.
interrupt you for a sec because we
Sure.
have a caller
Yeah.
and I don't want him to. Oh, gone again. I was too late. Oh, they're on. Hey, caller, you're on with Marla and Dave and the Cheas.
Hi,
Hey, who's this?
this is Tammy.
Tammy
Hey,
Clayton.
Tammy, what's going on? Long time.
Tammy, are you still in Texas? Because that's where Adria's from. Do you know her family? They're about to serve dinner.
I think I know 4 people in Texas.
Okay, well, just know that her family and friends are the best people outside of your own family. You'll let me know. So you might want to find them. I've met her friends. They're the bomb.
I met her when the guys came here for the show, but you all
okay.
said she had family here.
Yeah.
Well, Dave did.
Yeah,
said
she's
it.
from Texas. That's matter of fact. Vin actually plucked a Texas flower off the autograph line
right.
and married him.
Oak
So
Cliff Bible Fellowship.
Pastor Tony Evans.
there you go. So
Okay.
do you have anything at all? I know that you guys are also music lovers, so I already expected that somebody would call up here and just be totally unimpressed with their marriage and want to talk about Vin's bass lines. I knew it was going to happen. So go ahead.
Or Marla actually smashing the table with her bangles.
It's my show. So
Ooh, excuse me. I've been told.
no, I'm kidding.
Just like at home.
Yeah. I'm a big fan, lifelong fan.
Oh,
Will
thank
always
you.
be.
Thank you very much.
I'm pretty honest with Dave. A couple things he probably didn't agree with, but no matter what you put out, I'm going to be a fan.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank
Well,
you
there.
so much.
Well,
You
we'll
know,
look forward
our
to.
ego is getting quite a bashing today, Tammy.
It
But thank you
was.
for that. Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you again. We know you love us.
Yes, I do love y'all.
Well, I
And,
have a question.
I'm waiting.
I have a question for the Take Six fans. Hank, this is for you too, Tammy. How much, Alvin, does your beautiful wife inspire your art as a musician? Are you inspired? And in what way? How does that work?
It's funny that you should mention that. When I got divorced, I stopped being able to write music.
Wow.
Went away. Couldn't, again, back to that, you're trying to make something. I couldn't do it for the life of me. I started writing, journalistically and
Right.
Blogging like crazy. Wrote a book.
Right.
When I met Adria, I got the music back.
Wow.
Wow. Adria,
That's a song in itself.
Take Six fans, are you listening to this? If it were not for Adria, your bass man would be dead in the water.
Brought
You hear
back
me?
my song.
Yes.
Oh, that's the
true.
title.
That's why I love
It's
it.
true.
I've actually heard that a lot in the industry.
Yeah.
How people they get writer's block.
Yeah. Couldn't
You know,
write.
when we're divorced. So
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Tammy, thanks so much for calling in, and we feel free to call us every week. We can't tell you that we're gonna, have the Take Sixers here, but there's always something fun. And Tony Sweet's here every week, so you can always make him turn his mic on. We can do it, you
I
know.
love you. Take Six doesn't have to be there. I love you. We're just friends.
Thank
We
you.
are.
Later.
And
All
say
right.
hi to the family.
Thanks, Tammy.
I will. Bye-bye.
Vin,
Yes, ma'am.
wow.
That's
Adria.
a good one, man.
Oh,
That's
sorry
true.
for the smash. Adria,
Yes.
I feel like some kind of way I should touch you again. Let's just touch hands.
Touch and agree.
Touch and
Okay, the
agree.
reason that we touch and agree is because Adria, it's been 27 years in March, and Dave's dry on Marla songs. I don't know.
Wow. No,
asked
Dave
James
has written
Ingram.
plenty of
Come on,
songs.
Dave.
Marla,
Dave,
again,
Dave.
when your wife doesn't actually acknowledge that you're writing songs for her, and then she starts asking James Ingram in your face, in your face, every writer she comes to, hey, can you write me a song? Because Dave,
Marla.
yeah, she's done that to me plenty
Tony,
of times.
can I tell you, where this started? I'm not even talking to the three of them anymore.
Marla.
Tony, there was a time that Dave wrote a song that, remember, we've known each other since we were 6 and 8. And in high school, he was in sworn love to some other woman.
Wow.
And he wrote a song for her and played it for me. Then when we got serious and we got together, I said, well, you never wrote a song for me. He tried to change the words. I recognized the melody. And I'm like, get original, bro.
I'm gonna either plead the fifth or say that Marla's memory was a little askew that day.
It wasn't even that old, Dave. Don't
and maybe
go
that
there.
was the only song I could actually play, so I had to change the words.
Let
Maybe so.
Let me change and say this. Adria, thank you for inspiring your husband musically. Dave, I got you in other ways, bro. You didn't have to be a song. Start doing poetry. You heard the man. He went from blogs to write a book.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing a show. I'm doing a whole show.
That's true. I give you credit for that. You are doing a show. There's
the music.
Yeah. Did you write that, Dave? I don't think so.
As a matter of fact, I did. We'll be right back.
It's time to play the Marla and Dave
It's love game time.
Here are Marla and Dave to explain how it works.
Okay, Marla's pretty excited over there to play the love game.
I'm always excited about the love game.
So, Marla, why don't you tell us about the love game?
The Marla and Dave is a mad love game. It's a game that Dave and I created.
Yes.
This game has 3 categories, which 3 things that all relationships need, thrive on, or could destroy you. So they're communication, sex, or finance.
Yes.
There's a die that we have, and on the Marla and Dave die, there are 3 categories that are represented on the die, as well as our logo, which represents wild and lose a turn. You roll the dice, you pick a card, and you answer the question, and then there's always a fun little topic of discussion. Can you please hand the die to our guest, Dave?
I can.
And allow them to roll. Adria, do us
roll
the
first.
pleasure. It says communication.
All right.
Shuffle
I will
those
grab
cards.
a communication card. What are the 3 most important questions to ask before getting married?
Oh, wow. And we didn't even know that would be the...
Isn't that ironic? What are the 3 most important questions to ask before getting married?
Cheers.
How's your credit?
Do you need that Ferrari?
Your spiritual life. Your spiritual life.
Yeah, your walk with God.
Your walk with God.
And let's see. Are you taking any psychotropic drugs?
Now, I'm not exactly sure if those answers represent a second time around approach.
6 questions the second time
Okay.
around.
3 more.
Those are
They're
pretty
your
good.
initials,
Those are pretty
this and
good
this?
questions. The answers we were looking for is, why are we getting married? What's the reason we're doing this? What do we as a couple want out of life?
Nice.
Together. How do you see us in 30 or 40 years from now?
Wow, when you're saggy. And you're...
Nice.
Do you see yourself saggy? I don't know about that. But another fun thing that the Marla and Dave love game, the Mad Love Game, has is a question for further discussion. So when you play with your friends, it just becomes a fun topic of discussion. It is, what is or was the number 1 question on your list? And I think both of you said, what's your credit score? Your FICO.
Did you guys ask each other that for real?
No.
No, we didn't.
No.
That was a joke. Okay.
But she pulled up in a Jaguar, so I knew that she was kind of had some brains in her head.
That's hilarious.
All right. Do we want to try for one more?
I think we should roll one more. Let Vin roll.
Come on, roll good, babe.
The logo, you get to choose sex, communication, or money.
Sex. I love it.
Man.
Okay, here
So
we
they're right or
go.
wrong
I know.
answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
all right.
the answers were, by the way, were actually collected from the PEW research.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How many calories can you burn having sex?
2,000.
Well, holy smoke.
Adria, would you agree?
Dude, what kind of... are you okay? Are you good?
Adria, would you agree?
No.
Okay.
2,000 calories. That's a whole day's worth of...
That's a lot of work. Y'all be putting it down.
Let me tell you something. Please do, when you guys go on the road, do not hang out with Alvin, because whatever he's doing, you're not going to get to do it at home.
He's building up.
The actual answer is between 100 and 150.
You guys are crazy out of your minds. I can't even burn 2,000
from the
calories.
crew tribe. We love you long time.
Anyway,
thanks so much for
calories.
playing the Mad Love Game. That's
is
hilarious.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
2,000 calories. What the hell?
All right, it's time for the poll question this week. The poll question was, how important is money to the health of a relationship? Your options were very, hashtag money matters, and not very, hashtag priceless love. Actually, priceless love did not win out, and most people, 83%, said very important.
Absolutely.
And right, and you know what I think? I'm glad you chimed in, because it depends on who you're talking to. When I did these Mad Selfie surveys, which, by the way, the poll question is usually in conjunction with the Mad Selfie surveys. You can find them online or on our website. Younger people were all about
love.
I said, yeah, love is priceless. Love is priceless. Definitely, it shouldn't matter. I'm like, yeah. Until you're, 30 and still eating at McDonald's and mad.
Exactly.
It's trying to get it in the back of a car. Not even cool.
It's as much of a business relationship as anything else,
Absolutely.
Business partnership.
The poll question coming up this week is, who tends to want to get married more, men or women? Make sure you log on to www.marlandave.com and answer the question there the easiest way, or you can check it out on Facebook. Wherever you see it, make sure you answer. We want to hear from you.
Can you handle the truth? This is modern American dialogue in a mad world from two unique, fresh, transparent perspectives. This is the Marla and Dave radio show.
All right. Well, it's time for us to give our best advice. We've had fun. It always goes by way too fast. But I'm really, really, really glad that you guys got a chance to come and enjoy us here, because we certainly enjoy spending time with you guys whenever we get together. Even in Mexico when I fall off and bust my knee. But can I just put Take 6 on the spot? Can you guys, why? Why are you still going to cold places? We don't want to do that. Can we do some more Take 6 toury combination family type deals so I can get to a tropical place somewhere?
Put that up in the ether. I want to go too. We go where we're
cold folk have money.
Yeah, we go where we're paid to come.
We go where there's money.
Well, we need to ship some of those people to Jamaica or somewhere. We got to get out of here.
Right quick, Alvin, Sandra Hawkins said, please bring back the bass blog.
I thank you very much for that. I received that.
All right.
Actually, a quick backstory, I've gotten rid of all those kind of things, so I'm looking to figure out what's next.
All right. And I know that you will, because you guys, you're incredibly creative. And Adria, you are a fantastic woman, an awesome friend. We're blessed that, Alvin let God take his hand on this one.
Amen.
Thank you.
And
Jesus took the wheel.
Yeah,
crashed right into Adria. Thank you, Lord.
We are. And it's always cool when you can call someone family, and you can enjoy being with them, even though you are slated to work with them. Right. It's a totally different thing.
Absolutely.
And
okay,
so,
quick, best advice for someone the second time around.
Let God lead you. Let God lead you. Of course, your eyes can be delighted, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it's time to make a decision and move forward, let God lead you.
And it's okay to take a second chance, a love. Whatever the situation was before, might not have been the right situation for you. Take a chance. Pray about it. Ask God to reveal it to you, and He will. And
on Adria's addendum to her statement, get rid of your list. God's got your list. Yes. Have your one staple thing, but throw it. Ladies, look at my face.
It's very true.
Get rid of your laundry list and get that man. He may not be good on paper, but obviously if you throw your paper away, you might get an Alvin. You never know.
Amen.
Not him. Somebody like him.
Because we know he's going to get in trouble
Don't make her,
gets gotten.
Don't make her cut you, because she will.
Don't let the smell fall.
Absolutely. And
all
before we go, we just want to remind all of you about the Mad Match. Is he or she the one? Marla, what's our answer?
Who cares? Just let Marla and Dave send you out on a fun night. You get to meet somebody, find somebody new. Join us next week, Monday. Mad Monday will not disappoint. We had girls' night, or we had ladies' night, and now we're getting boys' night out. We heard from the ladies. It's time to hear from the men.
It's on.
They're going to answer the question about love, life, and dating and why women are just out of their minds and tripping. They didn't say that. I'm kidding. Don't beat them up before they get here.
Thanks for stopping by. We are Marla and Dave.
It's a mad world.
And we want to talk about it.